2025. It's 9 a.m. We are in the County Court at Law courtroom in the Aransas County Courthouse, 2718 Highway 35 North, Rockport, Texas, 78382. I call this notice of regular meeting to order. Please stand, join me in the invocation.
Please join me as I pray. As always, Father, we're thankful for the blessings of this new day, and we pause in this meeting today to invite your presence into this house and into this room and into our hearts, and the wisdom of these commissioners that they need to conduct the business of this county. And we confess that we've done nothing in our lives to gain any favor from you, but we know that you're our God. And if we listen to you, that you'll take us on our journey through the great unknown. And there's a lot of issues on the agenda today. There's a lot of issues in this world and in our country. And Lord, we need your presence in all of it. We need you to guide us with your wisdom. Just like the Israelites as they went through the desert in their exodus out of Egypt. And when you move, they move. When you stop, they stop. Lord, we want you to move over this meeting today and give us your wisdom. We pray for rain for this area, for the county, for the state, maybe for the whole country. Lord, we need your provision of water to help to bring moisture to this dried land. We place all this in your hand this morning. We trust you, Lord, because you said you would never leave us or forsake us. And we need you today. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, thank you. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney.
Here.
Commissioner Casterline.
Here.
Commissioner Russo. Here. Commissioner Dupnick.
Here.
Judge Garza.
Here. We've got a full quorum. Citizens to be heard. We've got one. Mr. Hutt.
Let me get my address, sir.
Yes.
2201 Prairie Road. There's an agenda item today which basically removes me as the chair of the appraisal district. So you guys were successful. I would appreciate that when it comes time for that agenda item up, that we have a report from the committee about why I was not chosen. I think it's important for the folks in Aransas County to understand why a commissioner's court would replace the chair of the appraisal district. And so that being said, I've been up here for a lot of things. I have never seen so many letters of support as I got for my replacement in the appraisal district. I had school board members, city council members, navigation district members. I had developers, small business owners, regular folks, more so than anything else. And every time there's groups that come up that bring to y'all, it seems like the letters of support is important for y'all, but I don't know what it was for me. So and most importantly, I had Judge Garza's support, who is the executive of the county, who is responsible for digging us out of the mess that we're in and handling the day-to-day operations. I can say this about my term. I walked into an appraisal district that was in shambles. There was a chief appraiser that had abused and bullied and who had misused the law. And he had done this for years. And this court, many of y'all sat back, knew it happened because it was no secret within the community, but yet you did nothing. I came in and through accountability and following the law, created a situation where he resigned. It was the only time that an executive has resigned in Aransas County, the school board and the city council, that cost the appraisal district No money, no severance was needed to give out, none of this. I walked in, I was the first chair of an appraisal board that actually lowered the amount of the budget, that returned money to the county. I was the only one who set aside and did an MOU with the county for HR work and for IT work, which returned money to the county. I identified financial irregularities that had gone back for over 15 years. And I created a system and went out and hired an outside person to take care of, hired an outside person to do our books. I am the OG Doge in Aransas County. Before Doge was cool, there was Jeff Hutt. I'm really disappointed in y'all. I really thought that when Judge Garza won election 2 years ago, that the Commissioners Court would realize that the taxpayers in Aransas County were upset with the way things done. But I've really come to the conclusion that this court does not care about the taxpayers. It seems to me y'all care more about giving sweetheart deals and taxpayer dollars to friends for personal reward. And that personal reward doesn't have to be money. It can be acceptance in the right circles, invitation to the right parties. I'm just really disappointed in y'all. I expected better. My problem over the last 2 years is, out of respect for the court and respect for Judge Garza, I've been pretty much quiet about the problems that are going on. So thank you guys for, in one thing, setting me free and allowing this. But what y'all are doing today is in no way helping the county and helping the taxpayers of Aransas County. Your decision today is only going to hurt the taxpayers in Aransas County. Everything that y'all claim to be for, when you go vote Republican, you don't act out as commissioners. And it's just a false. Aransas County folks need to understand the Commissioners Court is about more taxes, more debt, sweetheart deals, and unaccountability. Thank you.
Thank you. Nobody else signed up online?
No.
Nope. Okay. Presentations, proclamations, nothing. I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Got a motion and a second. And I want to highlight some donations. We've got a donation of $375 donated to the Aransas Pathways from Renewable Energy Wildlife Institute to be used for the Linda Castro site projects. We've also got a donation of $10,000 donated to Aransas Pathways by Matt Kapora to be used for Linda Castro site projects.
I would also like to add to that a special kudos to Rebecca Rylander, who's a fairly new member of the steering committee. And she has done a great job at bringing birding activities and birding groups to this community. And to Melissa Zisheng for her outreach to a lot of different groups also. And when we sponsored some activities to recognize Deborah Kapora's contribution to Linda Castro and Aransas Pathways, Melissa was right there working on everything.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item number 7.
I move to approve appointing Janet Lee Hasty to the Aransas County Appraisal Board of Directors until the end of 2025.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
I'd like to discuss this.
All right.
I know there's been a lot of discussion about this appointment or reappointment. And I had consulted with TAC Legal when we were looking at a reappointment a few meetings ago. This court has decided at some point in the past that we would have alternating appointments. Therefore, we would not have two newbies or the possibility of two newbies on that board of directors. And in that situation, we have appointed each year for a 2-year term. This term that's coming up is for a 2-year term, not to the end of 2025. It should be until the end of 2026. So I would ask that we amend that motion to say until the end of 2026.
Well, statute says that, and I don't have it in front of me, but they're 2-year terms, but they start on even number years.
That's true, but there is a statute farther down that Tech Legal helped me find that says if a commissioner's court has determined that it will approve in alternating terms, that particular subsection of the statute does not apply.
You've got to have a vote of all the entities, not just a court. It's got to be a resolution of all the entities participating.
Well, let's just say that the commissioner's court has been appointing in alternating terms. So maybe at some point in the past, there was that resolution. I don't know.
I couldn't find it. I looked, I couldn't find it. I don't think there's ever been a resolution passed. And it's not just a court, it's all the entities. And has the court been
I
doing?
would think there has to be one for something because the way we appoint isn't the way that's in the rule of
Right,
the board. So
I agree.
I
There's,
would assume that some place there was some type of resolution passed.
I've looked. And assumptions, don't carry the weight of the law. Statute says, and the way we do it is all wrong. It's supposed to be brought forth by the chief appraiser, supposed to get all the
That's what I'm
entities.
saying, but it says the same thing on that.
I was,
That all of the districts can make the same
Right.
resolution to put it that way. How would it have changed?
I was told somewhere in 88 or 89, there was a resolution before 90 that put this in place. I have no idea how you would find that resolution.
Yeah,
It's most likely in the Commissioner's Court minutes, but I was unaware that that was there or was needed to be found.
well, we could still look for it.
You would think
But-
it'd be in the framework of the law. Maybe logic doesn't work.
Logically, I don't think we could make a decision thinking something may have been passed. We've got to find that before we could move forward with it. We could always amend this at a
Well-
later feature if we find that, but.
All right, I
till
agree with
then-
that.
That's what I would suggest is we go ahead and accept it as it's written and then go ahead and look. And if we need to change it, we'll change it.
Yep, if we could find
that-
it, right.
Be all right with you, Ms. Russo? Commissioner?
That's fine with me,
Okay,
yes.
that's what I would do. Call the question.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
I,
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 8,
I move to approve the fourth quarter 2024 report from the Friends of the Fulton Mansion.
I'll second that.
good morning.
Thing,
Morning.
Judge and
Morning.
Commissioners. And this is Courtney Smith. She's filling in for Dorothy Wood, who would have been here, but she had official meetings that she had to attend. She's one of the educators and can answer any questions you have about the programs. So. Of course, this is our fourth quarter report. Oh, that's right. I have to do this. So I'll just be reporting on our expense report, our total heads to beds and promotion of the arts. We didn't have any expenditures that related to historic restoration or preservation. The promotions of the arts for the fourth quarter's expenditure was $17,923. Most of that was for Christmas lighting, as you all are pretty familiar with, that we light all of the trees and the grounds, and it's a beautiful sight. But we also funded some projects for Halloween and the Victorian morning practices and Christmas programs that Courtney can talk to if you have any questions about that. Our heads to beds for fourth quarter were 885. I went ahead and listed the entire year so you could sort of see the downward trend, which I don't know if that's kind of expected to be a trend or not, but our total for the year is 6,128. I put it in a graph. I want to start showing you each time I come, comparing to past quarters and the past year, so we can see if this is something that we can, hopefully, the city and the county will increase our visitation. We hope. But that'll be something that I think will be nice to track and look at. Again, to show our total museum visits, I compared to 2023 to 2024. It's up in 2024 by about 400 visitors. That's a good trend. And then, let me go back to that because I had a statistic I wanted to quote you. That's roughly 44%. Where did I put that? Of our visitors in 2024, that's 44% of them stayed in hotels. So we go back to the beds to heads, dividing that by the 13,846, 44%. I thought that was kind of interesting to look at. That's pretty good. Almost half of our visitors are staying in hotels. And these are the kinds of events that we did in the fourth quarter that, of course, Courtney can talk to about in a little more detail. I have a picture of one of the speakers that we had from the Texas Historical Commissioner who talked about the Victorian mourning practices and how different it was at that time to how we, pay respects to our deceased in current times. And the next slide, that was a picture. Whoops, go back. That's a picture of the Arbor Day that many of you were there at. And we were supporting that.
I think we planted 4 trees.
We did, yes.
I mean, they were planted before we
Yeah,
got
they
there. We were
were.
just there for.
We
the
did.
photo
We
op.
planted 4 trees. That's right. And then our Christmas, we have a Santa who dresses in a costume that's from the Victorian era. And then one of our prior educators, Joe, dressed up as George Fulton, and he read Christmas. Yeah, right. And then I'm excited about this next slide because we're now fully staffed. And Courtney and the other educator, Joanne and Dorothy, they have been working very hard. They now have a 6-month plan for all of their events, which I think the state likes them to have, which they weren't able to do before. So that's going to include workshops and lectures. And we're going to be inviting, of course, our friends of the Fulton Mansion, which Pat is a member of. They're going to participate in Oyster Fest. They're going to dress in swimsuits from the Victorian era, have a float. So we're looking forward to that and being part of the Oyster Fest. We are participants in the Smithsonian Museum on Main Street, providing music. There'll be bagpipers, a country band, an Elvis impersonator, and traditional dances. And then in the spring, they've got a cowboy rodeo planned with lots of daily events. So.
Do you have the dates for that, Courtney?
For the spring,
The rodeo?
14, 15, and 16. If that's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, off by a day there.
So that hopefully will begin to attract more people to the mansion because there are fun things for adults and children. And then again, of course, thank you all for your support. And as always, we'd love to have you come visit. Just give us a call and we'll give you a personal tour.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Do you have any questions? And is there anything I wanted to ask that you'd like me to be reporting to you? Or is the report that I give, does
That's
that
a good
answer your
report.
questions? And
It's a good report.
Yeah,
good,
you're good.
okay.
I
Thank
just
you.
mentioned to Jane before court began, a couple of the workshops they've done have been very interesting. And I think it encourages people, maybe have been members, but have been through the mansion a few times to get back there. And one was like a pickle workshop and one is coming up and I can't remember what it is.
I know we're also having the Friends group a tea tasting and recipe exchange.
Oh, that's right.
We also got coming up in May an heirloom tomato workshop or a recipe exchange. I think I had completed events there, but and then we're gonna have a big picnic day in April. So lots of games, yard games, crafts outside. So that'll be really exciting.
Because I know on Arbor Day, there were a lot of families there.
There
That was a
were,
lot of fun.
And we hope to host that again. We have offered that the mansion did not charge them for, of course, for use of the grounds at all. And we've offered that to them again. And the Friends support them as
Good,
well.
thank you.
If there are no other questions, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. And a little bit of housekeeping. I'm going to strike item number 9. And I'm also going to strike item number 11. So we'll hear item number 10. Acknowledge Friends of the History Center fourth quarter 2024 report.
I thought that's the one.
Oh, is that the one?
That she said,
No.
they were gonna reschedule?
No, I think they're doing the historical commission that's rescheduled.
Okay, well, it's item number 9. Tracy, is it 9 and 10?
Oh, okay,
Okay,
but I don't see Eric.
okay.
I move, we
What's the
approve.
difference on the two?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the
Oh, one's
history,
the
center,
history center, okay.
which is the building over there on Cedar and Church. And then the historical commission is what we fund.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanna, it's not an action item, so we'll just skip it and go to item number 12.
Well, can we just,
Number 11.
do you want to just acknowledge because they gave us a report in our packet. The History Center,
I don't think
It's
we ever
number-
had one that said just acknowledge.
the 10.
I'm on there. and-
Well, just, maybe they'll show up. I'll just skip it for now, or can we do that, Adela? Just skip it and come back? All right,
May I?
Uh,
may
item
I
number
ask-
11 is struck.
May I ask a question?
Yes,
This, I think, has been on the agenda before and removed.
yep. Twice.
The
The one-
one about
The
the
Lucas Ranch.
Lucas Ranch. When are we going to act on this?
We're.
I'm just looking for some information about why we keep putting it on the agenda.
Well,
and keep
if I
track-
struck it, then we can't.
Oh, we can't
discuss it.
ask about
Right.
it?
Not if it's been struck. And it's been struck. We'll move on to item number 12.
I move to approve, I move to approve rejecting all responses to the brush grinding services request for proposal advertised and open on December the 19th, 2024, and resoliciting the project.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Morning, Tony.
Judge, Commissioners.
Morning, Anthony.
We opened up the bid on December 19th, and it was from Earthco. They're a company out of, I guess, Austin. And the prices they quoted us was just way too much for our budget. It was $19.10 for single grind and $28.26 for double grind. I'd like to reject that bid.
What are your plans to attract more responders the next time?
Me and Eric's been talking. He's wanting to reopen. That's the next item, actually. He's wanting to
Yeah.
reopen the bid process.
Did the people that we've used in the past, did they both bid or?
No, this was the only one. We only received one, but hopefully if we reopen the bid process, they'll come back and bid again. Or we have to explore other options.
All right. All right, any other questions?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 13.
I move to approve authorizing environmental health dash transfer station to seek new bids for a 2025 brush grinding contract.
Second.
Got a
Okay.
motion and a second.
Once again, we're just asking permission just to open up the bid process again.
Is it going to be posted more places than it was posted this time?
I believe he said he was going to. He's not here to answer that. I can't give you that answer.
Do you know any, Jackie?
We'll work on finding other vendors and making the larger.
Do you know where all we posted the last time?
We posted on the website and it's in the paper, but he also will send out solicitations for,
Did we this
this
past time?
that
Because
was.
I know
done
we've had at
prior
least
to
two
my
different-
office. I'm sure they did.
We've
but-
had at least two different companies in the past that regularly bid on.
Yes, sir. The ones that were local that bid don't do it anymore. So I think what they've had to do is they're going out farther. I know we've had some from Austin and Oklahoma, and
Oklahoma, yes.
I mean, some of that's just cost prohibitive when they
Yeah.
have to travel like that. So we'll work on, looking for vendors that are more local and what we can. send
Maybe
out.
check with some other counties. To see who they're using.
Eric did. He reached out to different counties. He's got some, like I said, I can't speak on his behalf, but he informed me that he did talk to other counties and he's got other avenues to,
For the next time.
yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick, Russo, sorry,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
I,
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Thank you, Anthony. Item number 14.
I
Move
move-
to approve construction change request number 111, credit for tree grade and construction change order number 112 to furnish and install power supply and relay necessary to trip the breaker inside the elevator machine room in case of fire.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. So
Is L online?
Is L online? I know she's ill and Mark's not online either. Well, I could speak a little of what I know about this. So the tree grate, there's that tree that's between the community center and the courthouse. It's a big tree and we did everything we could. We're doing everything we could to save it. So there's concrete around it. We're gonna put a steel tree grate so that drains water and it's not a trip hazard. Anyway, so they bid out the job. The tree grate is in the drawings, but for some reason, they're coming back at us for $100,000 to install the tree grate.
When you say they, who are they?
Teal priced it out and said it's gonna cost $100,000. We're going back and forth saying, well, you bid it. And they said, yeah, there's talk going back and forth, but at the end of the day, I said, I don't care. I'll put bark there. I'll put, I'll put rocks. But I'm not gonna spend $100,000 on a tree grate that they bid on. And so we said, give us a credit. And so our credit's $2,800. $2,867.52.
For the court.
So that is our credit. And if we want to install it, and it's up to y'all, we could spend $100,000. Yeah, we could put rocks,
I
we could
agree.
put something, but yeah, so that was an item that was bid on. It's steel.
Besides, rocks and stuff like that won't rust.
Right, right. But anyway, that's where we're at with the tree grate. They want to charge $100,000 for something they bid $2,800 for.
And then what's the other one?
The other thing is so I planned on getting more information this past Wednesday during the owners meeting. But before that morning, I've got an email from Justin McComb saying, good afternoon. After the special meeting yesterday and the plan to host a workshop to work through things, tomorrow's AOC meeting will be canceled as well as all future meetings until a successful workshop has been completed. So we're not doing owner meetings anymore until we get a workshop completed, which is scheduled for the 21st.
A successful workshop.
A successful workshop,
Who defines
right,
that?
exactly.
Yeah.
So talk about communication. So I don't have all the information as far as how many elevator inspections have failed, but it's been more than one, maybe more than two.
It's 3.
Yeah, I think it's 3 elevators inspections that have failed. And so on the last failure, this is an item that they said we need in order to pass. This item is $9,052. And that is for this item, when we paid or whatever, bid out this courthouse, you know, we bid out for an elevator system, not like we could have piecemealed it ourselves. But that being said, you know, we need this to pass. It's $9,000.
I think 9,000 is what Went is charging for their services, because
Oh, I'm sorry.
exchange request is $12,073.60.
It is 12,000.
Oh.
I apologize. Thank you for correction.
I wasn't planning on talking, but if y'all
Yeah,
have
come on.
questions about that, I can
Could you
answer 'em.
identify yourself, please?
I'm Aaron Went. I own Went Electrical Services.
Before we get started on that, let me ask you a question about the agenda item. You know, it talks about the tree grate. Okay, that's an issue that we need to vote on separate. And then construction change order, you know, we're talking about two very distinct different issues here. So I would think that we would need to separate those up. And I would make a motion that we deny the credit on the tree grate. And then what that would do is that separates that out. And then we can talk to Mr. Went about the other thing. Cause I mean, one's health and safety and
I don't
once
think you can
just-
break it out after it's already been written like
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
well, we've made multiple motions before off of a single agenda item.
But to deny the tree credit, you want to spend $100,000 on the tree grade?
No, that I want to deny the tree grade.
No, but you want to accept credit to not have the tree grade.
If you voted yes for the whole thing, you
Okay.
would deny the
Okay.
tree grade.
No, that's what I want to do.
It's
Yeah.
confusing.
Let's-
So do
let's-
you want to amend the motion?
Let's talk a little bit before we
Yeah.
do that.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Let's let him tell us.
Aaron Went Services. I can answer questions about this. That's all. I wasn't planning on speaking about it, but I know about this change order. I sent it.
Okay.
If you guys have question.
So you're just gonna use a shunt trip in there? What kind of trip? are you gonna
Ultimately,
use?
what it boils down to and why I'm asking for a change order is because they didn't show power supplies on the plans. The design team, it didn't show power supplies. And my electrical inspections have passed, but the elevator inspector is a different entity. He comes down, he checks it, and he said we need power supplies to shut the breaker off.
Yeah.
And so I
Have to be
priced
able
the
to
change
isolate
order.
it.
That's right. And so it's not on the plans. I'm not pointing fingers. I don't know whose fault it is. When I get a set of plans like this, I just read the notes and I put Legos together. You know, I need the Lego booklet. And on this change order, there were no power supplies or GFIs or
Typically,
breakers.
would there be on the plans? Or would it be in,
Typically,
like code?
typically, yeah, it shows me every single little detail on the plans. So
So I think as kind of a different question, is this unusual that this was left off the plans?
what's not unusual is that when a city inspector goes to these elevator jobs, or not a city inspector, an elevator inspector, they oftentimes kind of make the rules up as they go. They're the authority having jurisdiction. So I've been on a job before where the elevator inspector came and said that he was going to fail the elevator inspector because the joist hadn't been installed, made the contractor go install joists in the top of the elevator shaft. And on the very next job, they put the joist there and the elevator inspector went to the job site and said, I'm not going to pass this. You need to take the joist down before I inspect it. And so these kind of things happen. I don't know who's at fault. The elevator inspector said we needed to design it like this. And so I priced it and designed it.
According to this topic, though, this is tied to the fire alarm.
Yeah.
So it's a,
Yeah, so they want the fire alarm to trip the breaker.
to stop the elevator. They want the
stop the
fire
elevator,
alarm to
yeah.
stop the elevator.
Right. It has to do with smoke detection, and when the elevator gets called from the second floor back to the first floor, then triggers something to shut the breaker off after it returns home. It gets technical. That's not my job. My job is just to twist wires and put the stuff together, you know, but
But we need this equipment when
Yeah.
there's a fire alarm sets off, we need this equipment in place
to trip
for
the
the
breaker.
elevator to be able to stop at a safe point.
So that way,
stop
when it gets
functioning.
back to the first floor and somebody goes to the second floor and hits the button, it doesn't go back to the
Okay.
second floor to pick them up.
Okay, thank you.
Because it looks like that $12,000, $9,052 is for the electrical subcontractor. Then 1,924 is for fire alarm systems. And then about 1,100 is Teal's fee on top of that, and that's where the 12,000 comes from.
Okay.
So,
Like we
Thank
have
you,
to have
Ms.
it.
yeah, thank you.
All right. Anything else from the commissioners? All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
I'm not sure what we're voting on right now
So we're voting to accept a credit
from the tree grade.
for the tree grade, and which would be a yes vote and a yes vote to for the change order to
Okay.
get this elevator
Aye.
fixed.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye. Did you-
Commissioner Russo,
Did you?
he said aye.
Oh, okay.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick
Aye.
and Judge Garza.
Aye. Thank you. Passes. Number 15.
I move to approve accepting and approving as-built drawings and authorize the county judge to sign the as-built acceptance letter and the certificate of construction completion for the Holiday Beach Road Improvements Project in the county's general land office community development block grant. Disaster relief contract number 20-065-098-C270.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning.
Morning,
Good
Darryl.
morning, Daryl.
So the construction is complete on the Holiday Beach project,
Woo.
and this agenda item is to accept the as-built drawings that have been delivered to the county, as well as executing the certificate of construction completion on the project. This would allow for the final payment to be made to close out the project.
So do we have the pay apps and everything on that already?
Yes, sir.
They're approved?
It's one of them that you approved last.
Okay.
It looks like the change orders came to just a little over 21% of the,
So we maximized
so
as
we're
much as
cool.
we could.
And we got pretty much up to using all the grant.
Yeah, we're about 4% short of that. I don't know that particular dollar amount off the top of my head. And unfortunately, we weren't able to get funding on that CDBG-DR to
Okay.
continue a little bit of that project in the future. There's a couple streets we weren't able to address.
Yeah, that's part of that DR.
DRB. Okay.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
aye,
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Number 16.
I move to approve accepting and approving the as-built drawings and authorize the county judge to sign the as-built acceptance letter and certificate of construction completion for Ruby Allen and Trailer Ditch Improvement Project in the county's general land office community development block grant disaster relief contract number 20-065-098-C270.
Second.
This is just like Holiday Beach, the Ruby Allen Trailer Ditch Improvement Project is complete. And we are asking for a signature to accept the as-built as well as executing the certificate of construction completion.
And the change orders were a little less than 22%. So you're watching it tight.
So we tried.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 16. I'm sorry, 17.
I move to accept and approving as-built drawings and authorize county judge to sign the as-built acceptance letter and the certificate of construction completion for the Southeast Aransas County Drainage Improvement Project in the county's general land office community development block grant disaster relief. Contract number 20-065-098-C270.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
And the third project, Southeast County Drainage Improvement Project is, construction is complete. We received the as-built, just asking to sign the acceptance letter to that as well as the certificate of construction completion. 3 down.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item five, thank you, Daryl, and these are big wins for Aransas County.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
if I may, I think there's a representative here from the Historical Society.
All right, we'll go back to item number 10,
Historical Society or on.
History Center. Thank you.
History Center.
Apologize for being a bit late this morning. We ran into an issue with the city. Good morning.
Good morning.
A quick update from the History Center. I did take over Vice President from Pam. I have some pretty big shoes to attempt to fill. I won't even fool anybody to think that I'm anywhere near as qualified as her. But to get up the update.
Could you give us your name, please? Your name?
Oh, I'm sorry, Eric Koenig with the History Center.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion, please?
It says
it's an acknowledgement,
acknowledge,
okay.
it's just acknowledgement.
And your address, sir. Your address?
224 Hagee, my personal address. Okay, 224 Hagee.
Thank you.
This was to quickly get you up to date on some of the events from the last quarter, and then quick for our next set of exhibits. So we had a Decking the Halls exhibit in December, which I hope everybody got a chance to go. The Christmas trees, the setup was absolutely gorgeous with some of our full wall murals as background. Very, very nice. We moved from that into our Quilting Challenges exhibit, which is quilting. Our ladies that do a lot of quilting have exhibits basically covering the walls of the entire main part of the facility. A very nice, very, very nice set of quilts. And they are continuing to give talks on Sundays, little classes about how they're doing their techniques. Collaborations, the Armadillo School Gang was able to go at the end of January for a roping and quilting class. We're currently actively at the Crossroads exhibit with the Smithsonian at the Municipal Center. I highly, highly recommend. That entire facility has got an incredible display.
Yeah.
It's very small, but if you stay there, you can spend almost a couple of hours trying to catch everything that's in there. It's certainly a highly recommended exhibit. The History Center partnered with Fulton Mansion and the Texas Maritime Museum during October for the Harbor Haunts event. And the Armadillo School group also came out for a History Center field trip to discuss the history and view artifacts as well. Our publicity, we continue a heavy presence in Facebook, posting 2 to 3 times a week. We're also constantly updating our Facebook page, and we are moving to trying to get our name out that much more. And I wanted to offer these. We're giving these away free at every event that we have. I wanted to give everybody one of these. Thank you. Don't know if you've ever seen one of these. They're kind of a little bit of a gimmick.
Oh, thank you.
But they have our new logo on the one side. And if anybody's ever heard the concept of Around to It, well, this is our Around to It to visit the History Center. And like I said, all of our events, everything that we go to, we give these out. And the QR code on the back actually will send the recipient of this artifact to our website. So we're hoping, for grants, for various things, they like to see your social media account, and they like to see that you're pursuing an active online footprint. That seems to be something very important in today's world. And so we're hoping that as these proliferate, we'll start to get these out to all of our visitors, our Winter Texan. We were at the Winter Texan event. We must have given away probably 40 of these. So hopefully people will keep them in their pocket, and they'll end up being passed around, and whoever gets this will want to scan that, I hope. And we'll get our counts and our visit up. December, we had our potluck dinner. Everything went fine. We recognized Phil Stranahan for his outstanding service and support, as Pam was, of course, leaving the staff. The facility has been going quite well. We had the ceiling repaired, the AC, I guess, condensation pan problem, we believe, has all been taken care of, and that's not gonna create an issue again. The very minor cold weather snap we had didn't affect anything at all. In fact, I don't even think I'm not sure if we even closed. The new exhibit coming up is the Artifacts, the Keys to History. We've also got a photography event where the winners are gonna be we're gonna post the winners for a photography contest at the center. And
Are you doing that in conjunction with Pathways?
I think so.
Because I know Pathways is
I
Melissa
think they're the
still?
ones,
Okay,
I think they're the ones with the contest.
right.
And
Okay,
so we're giving them a spot to show the
good.
winners,
Thank you.
the winners of that contest. And of course, we continue to be open Monday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, every week. Any questions?
On the Armadillo games, two of my grandchildren went to it and they came back, Pawpaw. I said, what? And they said, Aransas County has history.
Who knew?
They were really impressed with the museum or the displays.
All right, well, I'm glad we're getting out. I'm glad the word's getting out. It's sinking in a little bit.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney, oh, there's not a vote on this. Sorry.
Go item number 18.
Move to approve DLF 2 Incorporated Aransas County change order number 25 for the Aransas County Downtown Anchor Project fiber and hydro trenching for conduit installation. The cost of the 30 by 48 by 36 box is $8,917.10. Payable by local assistance and travel consistency funds.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
Do you know something about this, Jackie?
That's good. Colin's gonna speak on it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Good morning. Can you all hear me? Yeah. All right. So this change order, we started getting all the fiber project, finally making headway on it and got everything down to where they were ready to install. And there was one junction point in the conduit pathway where a box was missed in the entire project. So we had to do a change order to get this box in the ground so that the conduits could meet appropriately. And that's all this is covering.
Just
And
that box.
I just wanted to add that it's being paid through this local assistance and tribal consistency fund because the fiber optic was not part of the original contract with GLO, so it's not funded through the GLO contract. These funds we received because of Aransas Refuge, the National Wildlife, because we do revenue sharing with that. We qualified for these funds a couple of years ago, and we've held them knowing that we would have this stuff coming up. So they're very, basically we can use them for any kind of operation stuff. So we chose to use it for the fiber optic as well as the furniture for the courthouse.
Good, thank you. Because I noticed that in the change order request, we are going to be billed separately for
Yes,
general
and it's
conditions. So that means
totally
something
separate,
else is
yeah.
coming in addition to this.
All right.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castellane.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
All right, passes. Item number 19.
I move to approve FEMA disaster recovery project number DR 4332 0195 TX Hurricane Harvey phase, Texas Division of Emergency Management sub-grant award for a hazard mitigation grant program for the Aransas County Detention Center generator, authorizing the county judge to sign and execute all necessary documents.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Colin, do you know about this one or Jackie?
These are just the notice of award, the sub-award that we received from Tatum. We have to approve these. We're still working with Tatum to try to get some cost overruns and some changes in budgets. But until we approve these and accept this, it kind of stalls all of that work. So we need to It doesn't commit us to them, but this does give them the opportunity to be able to go in and see if there's any changes on them. Because right now, the cost on them is like FEMA 35 and Aransas County 65%.
Yeah, I noticed.
Separate from what was originally going to be a 75-25. So we have requested the changes, but until these are approved, FEMA's kind of at a standstill on making any changes.
Jackie, what account would the money come from for the county share?
Good question.
Okay, that's all okay.
We're, we're working on trying to get these things changed. It would be something that would have to either come out of fund balance or would have to be,
And what are the projects that we're considering?
well, these projects, this one right here is the generator at the detention center. We have one for environmental health. And these are several items of, on here right now. Fulton Elementary, they would be responsible for their match if they decided they wanted to do
They
it.
being the school district?
Yes.
Okay, that was the question.
And then the Public Safety Center. These are the other 4 generators that were in the original plan that we just made aware of the subawards. So we're trying to get those done so that we can actually get the talks going on, maybe getting some cost overrunning it. So get these percentages upgraded.
So even if we approve these, we wouldn't be responsible for the school
We're
district
not,
portion
no.
and not responsible for anything at this point in time.
This doesn't make us responsible for anything. It's just accepting the subaward, but this is still not going forth with the project at this time.
Okay.
But did we just receive these subaward letters?
My understanding is that we did receive them a while back, but they were never presented to Commissioners Court. We were not aware of them until Tatum started asking why we hadn't approved them.
Okay. Because I noticed that the
dates are, yes. But
more
we
than
were
2
not
years.
aware of them.
Okay. But they still might be viable,
Yes, they still are.
right?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 20.
I move to approve FEMA Disaster Recovery Project number DR-4332-0199-TX Hurricane Harvey Phase, Texas Division of Emergency Management Subgrant Award for a Hazard Mitigation Grant Program for the Aransas County Environmental Health Facility Generator, authorizing county judge to sign and execute all necessary documents.
I'll second
Second.
that.
I'm sorry.
Got a motion and a second. Same thing, different projects.
Yes, sir.
And my only question on that is, they have a period of performance that they stated on their subgrant letter, saying December 2021 through May 22, 2023. Will they let us change those dates?
Yes, we're working on a change, extension for those.
I'm a little confused on this one because we have a generator.
The generator that's out there now is for animal control and environmental health. I mean,
Ag
Ag-Life,
Life.
Okay.
the extension agent. That one was paid through ARPA funds and it's for those 2 buildings. Environmental health was not put
That's
there.
right. I was
Now
thinking it was tapped into the building, but it's not.
Right, but we do have another one out there that's for transfer station. And so it's back at the back for all of the transfer station stuff. So this would be actually for the environmental health building.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 21.
Move to approve FEMA Disaster Recovery Project number DR-4332-0200 TX Hurricane Harvey Phase, Texas Division of Emergency Management Subgrant Award for Hazardous Mitigation Grant Program for the Aransas County Fulton Elementary Generator, and authorize county judge to sign and execute all necessary documents.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second.
We already talked about.
Yeah, we talked about
This
that.
is just another one of the generator projects.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Number 22.
I move to approve FEMA Disaster Recovery Project number DR 4332-0196-TX Hurricane Harvey Phase, Texas Division of Emergency Management, Sub-Grant Award for Hazardous Mitigation Grant Program, and for the County Public Safety EOPS generator.
Second.
Still got some more on the end of it, Jim.
Authorizing the county judge to sign and execute all necessary documents. Forget about that part.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
This again is the same type of project. It's for the Public Safety Center.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Before we move on to 23, we're going to take a quick break. Everybody's back. Clerk back. All right. It is 10:05. We're back in open session. Item number, did we do 23?
No. sir,
Okay,
it's-
item number 23.
Entered into the interlocal project cooperation contract for the general land office contract number 25-047-000-8868 between Aransas County and the GLO, and authorizing county judge to sign necessary documents.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
This item is, this interlocal is for GLO to be able to furnish us funds. The project is actually going to be done by the U.S. Corps of Engineers, but GLO cannot give the Corps money. So we're going to be a pass-through. There's no cost to the county for this, other than us there's no cost to us. It's just our time in handling the grant, the pass-through to the Corps of Engineers from GLO. This is just our agreement with GLO to receive the funds. This is something that the Corps does require. It's for a project with Goose Island. It's called the CAP 2204 project, and recommend that we approve it.
And that's in the project, am I correct that it's gonna take dredge spoil from the intercoastal? to
Yes,
the
and
Red
help
Sea?
build up. Yes.
And this is GLO's standard contract.
Yes, ma'am. This is one that was furnished by GLO, the interlocal.
So under 3.03 payment, that's just standard procedure where they talk about a project partner.
Yes.
And we would be that project partner.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 24.
I move to approve authorizing the county attorney to agree to the proposed terms of the settlement in the I4Q Systems Incorporated contract dispute in civil number 2401-00226, and authorizing county judge to sign any necessary documents.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
First, Commissioner Cheney, Colin tells me your microphone might be off. This has been noticed in a closed session item for a while. I believe the county attorney's office has reached a resolution that is favorable to the county. That is a settlement offer of $22,200. The agreement between the parties would be a mutual non-disparagement clause, and what we requested is dismissal with prejudice, meaning that the parties cannot sue on this item again. And iWork has agreed. I have told them that I would present it to the Commissioners Court for their approval and their vote. And once you do, they will send the documents to us for signature and filing with the court in Utah.
And is the mutual non-disparagement term their request?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Cheney?
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline?
Aye.
Commissioner Russo?
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick?
Aye.
Judge Garza?
Aye, passes 5-0. Item number 25.
This
Presentation.
Presentation of OR 2025-003486, an order to Aransas County from the Office of the Attorney General regarding the WENT Services Incorporated Public Information Act request. Do you need a second on that?
It's just a
No.
presentation, isn't it? We don't have to.
Okay. We received a Public Information Act request from WENT Services at the end of September. A little procedural information is that I presented a cost analysis and they paid it, but that cost analysis has the effect of stopping the clock on answering until the requester pays what it requested. So effectively, our response or our measuring date would be, I believe, October 10th or October 11th. which is the date of that payment that the county attorney's office received for that cost estimate. In general,
I'm sorry, did you say the county attorney's office did receive payment of your cost estimate?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
In general, this is a very detailed request. One of the absolute prohibitions of the Public Information Act is that we are not allowed to ask why someone wants anything. So I have been, what I call understandably militant about saying, no, we're not going to ask. That's against the law. So it doesn't matter. What does matter is that we've received a request for information. So there are two things in play. The first is the Public Information Act itself. So what does the law define as public information? What does it include? How broad is it? Then we have all the interpretations of what the Public Information Act is. We have a TAC handbook. We have a handbook from the Office of the Attorney General. And then we have all of the many Attorney General opinions on the Public Information Act. And finally, we have the WENT request itself. So we have information that belongs to the county that is in the hands of third parties. So, for example, the county has paid money for the request for this one is for the Aransas County Courthouse project. So the county has paid money to PGAL to design it, for Broadus to act as our construction manager agent, for Teal to build it, and for the Primestone Group to act as a consultant. Part of this request has requested every document that we have on this project dating back to, I believe it's October 18th, 2021. Somewhere around there. So first of all, there's a presumption that all the information that's requested is public. It's just presumed to be public. And on the county's part, even if PGAL, Broadus, Teal, the Primestone Group isn't responsible for answering the Public Information Act as private entities, because they do business with the county, now they are. So I ran into a bit of a roadblock that caused me to ask for an Attorney General ruling. Namely, nobody wanted to provide documents. And so first I said, you are a third party in possession of these documents. They have been requested. Please turn them over. And then I got a resounding no. Then I said, all right, you are a third party in possession of county documents. Here's a copy of your contract. Here's a copy of the terms that say you understand that we are subject to the Public Information Act request. But also here's the law that says if you have a contract with the county for more than $1 million, you have to answer. Please answer. Again, they said no. So I wrote to the Attorney General and I said, it is my understanding that this is the law and this is a copy of our contract. It is my understanding that the county has to produce it because the county is the one that received this request. What do we do? Because people have said no. And I said, here's a copy of Teal's letter from their attorney saying, no, we're not going to do this. And also here's how you have to respond on our behalf. I submitted a copy of, I told them that Teal Construction Company just soundly refused to produce any of this information without a change order for more money in order to answer this. And I told them personally and in writing, the act is very strict on what the county can and cannot charge to answer this request. So for the most part, certainly can't charge for any attorney time, can't charge for any time that it took me to write between 5 and 10 letters to the Attorney General. It cannot charge for the production of documents unless the only way they exist are in physical format. We have to go get them, right? We can charge for things like redaction. We can charge for things like if I have to produce it on a flash drive or on a DVD, and then the law controls that. So the long story short is that the Attorney General has reviewed all of my letters. It received a letter from Teal's attorney. It received a letter from PGAL's attorney. And it said, you will produce what is requested.
Right.
And so there was a separate problem where I said, the request has requested copies of our text messages. But also the act defines media that could be used as paper, letter, document, email, internet posting, text message, instant message, other electronic communication, or anything held in computer memory. So that seems like all to me. And it is defined as all under the act, but it also says it doesn't matter if you are using your personal phone to send these or whether or not you're sending a county phone, because what matters is you are conducting county business. So if it's from your personal cell phone number, it doesn't matter if you're conducting county business. If it's from your personal email, it doesn't matter because it's county business. So I told the Attorney General, I'm having some pushback on people who want to produce or don't want to produce or have produced a limited production. And the Attorney General said, you will produce what was requested. And what was requested is all. And so I went back and I said, just to clarify, this is a 6-year project so far. If nothing else, it started in 2019 where we started to go get the architect and Broadus and Teal. Some people live in town. Some people know county affiliated people from innocuous things like church or kids sports programs. Is, for example, Teal always Teal and county always county. So I expressly asked that question. And if I said they got a text message about the potluck at church, must that be produced? And the Attorney General said, you will produce the information that is requested. Yes. And I said, okay, specifically, if a county affiliated person has a child on the soccer team with a Teal affiliated person, must that information be produced? And the Attorney General said, you will produce whatever was requested. So
Doesn't really sound like you really answered the question.
well,
Yeah.
it sounds that way to me because again, the Attorney General has the authority to review the request. And so I submitted a copy. They have the authority to review the request and say, that's too broad. You don't get X, Y, or Z. So I've actually read those opinions from the Attorney General saying, nope, this is too vague. This is too big. This is too ambiguous. This is not specific enough. They did not make that ruling here. So not only does our act define what has to be produced, but also all the interpretive things from the state, like the TAC handbook and the Attorney General handbook and the Attorney General opinions, but also the document itself. So the document itself says it means, includes, and refers to any writing or written material. Document also means every writing of every type or description and every other medium, a word defined by the act. Any type of communication or knowledge or transmitted. It goes on to say, your Aransas County, and court, here's what we mean. Aransas County. It's Commissioner's Court. It's agents, employees, attorneys, and other authorized representatives. For the definition of Teal, it says Teal Construction Company Corporation. It's agents, which would likely be its executives, its employees, its attorneys, and authorized representatives. I don't have any problem with what it is they define. My problem has actually been a problem of production. So 2 things. First of all, the Attorney General has ordered that the county release all this information. They have not ordered direct release from PGAL, Broadus, Teal, or the Primestone Group. They've ordered it from the county. This letter specifically has my name on it. That's fine. The reason why I bring that up is because there is a 10 business day rule. And we must present all of that information within those 10 business days. If we do not, hypothetically, the Attorney General of the state of Texas can sue Aransas County for noncompliance. Hypothetically, the requester can sue Aransas County for noncompliance. It is possible that we are completely compliant with producing stuff in Aransas County's possession if Broadus, PGA, or the Primestone Group do not present it to us. We are technically non-compliant and can still be sued. In that situation, we would have to turn around and implead every other party and tell the judge, hey, this is in their contract, and here's the law, and here's the Attorney General order, and they're violating a valid order of the state of Texas. So there are consequences that may be tied to non-performance or that are tied to non-performance that we may or may not face. We are allowed to challenge this order in court, which is why I'm presenting this to you today, as you are a representative of my client and I'm your civil attorney. And if you want me to challenge this in court, it must be done in Travis County. And there's a lot that I have specifically requested already that I believe the Attorney General has already provided an answer. And then most recently on Friday afternoon, they called me and left a message. So they said, yes, this order includes and encompasses all of the questions that you have asked for every topic that you have asked. That's our order. Go forth and prosper. So,
Adela,
yes, ma'am.
within the order, it says, I believe, that the county has not submitted a copy of the information requested or even a representative sample
Correct.
for the Attorney General to review.
Correct.
Now, I know we started talking about this a few months ago, and I know at least myself, and I'm sure the others have turned over notebooks, random. Colin has access to our email, so I did not do a search on my email because he's much more skilled in working in the system. But it sounds like we have not produced anything for them to review. So I think perhaps we need to produce whatever we have available and let them look at it.
I
And
do have an
secondly-
answer for that one.
Secondly, considering you said you've had several communications back and forth with the Attorney General's office, and this is their final decision, and they said that to you on a phone call on Friday, I don't see how going to Travis County and requesting a challenge to this is probably going to have any more success.
On your first point, where it says Aransas County has not complied, two things. The first one is factual. I sent them a copy. Broadus ultimately delivered a flash drive. And as soon as I got it, I sent it to the Attorney General's office, because what happens when we get a request, even if the county is going to request an Attorney General opinion, it must produce everything it has for the Attorney General to review or a representative sample. So not only did I produce Broadus's flash drive, but I also produced a handful of, I sent the text messages that I received that were edited. And the Attorney General has reviewed that. So on the one hand, yes, it does look like we have not submitted things, but first of all, factually, yes, we did. But second, on what I would say is probably a legal interpretation, we cannot produce things that we do not have.
Correct. And
So-
we're not required to produce things we do not have.
Well,
We're not required to produce reports or create reports under the public information. It's only what you have.
Yes and no. We are not, there are things that we are not required to do in the sense of we don't have to do research legal research to answer someone's question. We do not have to produce things that are not in creation at the time of the request.
Have we sent
However,
them copies of the contracts we do have on?
yes,
file?
ma'am. Yes. But
And what else have we sent them?
I think 9 different letters of every time that you write to the Attorney General, you have to submit a brief. So I have cited and sent PGAL's contract, Broadus's contract, Teal's contract, the Prime Stone Group's contract. I've submitted copies of the letters we received from Teal's different attorneys because they have 2 sets. I've asserted 552. I think it's 552-103 and 552-111. One of them is inter office memos, and the other one is pending litigation because Teal has threatened to sue us at least twice. And so those were the copies of letters that I sent and said, if hypothetically the county were preparing to respond to the letters that we received from Teal, may we withhold any of that information? And the Attorney General has said, no, you may not. So they considered that. But also, we did not have anything of PGAL's to submit.
Other
But
than the contract.
But my understanding of the Public Information Act, plus every interpretation of it, and the act itself says if more than $1 million is spent on any part of this through contract, it is now deemed to be in the county's possession and public, or it's deemed to be public information, and the county has what's known as a right of access to it. So even though Teal, for example, has a copy of all of their subcontracts, because the county spent county money on this project in general, those contracts wouldn't exist but for our project with Teal. And as a result, whatever Teal has, the county has a right of access to review. So,
All right, and we may have a right, but if they have not submitted them, we cannot comply with that section if we don't have the materials.
correct, which is what I told the Attorney General and said, please instruct us what to do. And they said, produce it.
That's,
How do you hope to win a challenge? I don't want you to give away any secrets, but I mean, what is the probability of us going to district court in Austin and winning a challenge based on the information you've presented to the
I do
Attorney
not
General?
foresee. I do not foresee.
So the purpose
But,
of the Travis County would be to sue to get a different interpretation than what you think you have from the AG?
Yes and no. They tell us if the county believes the information may not lawfully be released, it must challenge this ruling in court pursuant to 552-324 of the government code. And what that means is, like, we already know what must be lawfully produced. And everything in this request, in my personal opinion, did not require an attorney general ruling on everything, because I believe that there's already either case law or interpretation that says, turn it over.
So it would seem to me your other option is to file suit on Teal and PGAL for them to turn over the material.
I am telling you today that might be necessary.
but we're not filing a suit, are we, if we file the challenge? That's not the same thing. as
It
a
is
suit,
not
is
the
it?
same thing. However,
Whatever the legal deal is.
however, someone may sue us. Is the point of me explaining that someone may sue us because the Attorney General has said, turn it over, and that specifically the county must turn it over. And that they have also specifically ruled and said, we find that county funds have been, accordingly, we find the county spent or contributed public money for the purpose of producing, collecting, assembling, or maintaining this information, and farther, that the information relates to the transaction of official business in the county. Therefore, to the extent third parties maintain documents responsive to this request, we conclude this information constitutes public information for the purpose of 552.002, and the county must release the information unless it is accepted from disclosure under the act. What that means is there are,
Adele, would this be a closed session more appropriate? No?
hypothetically, we
into-
could, but all of this is open information under this order, and only,
But you're getting into like suits and stuff. Like,
yes, because that, I believe, is what the Commissioners Court needs to consider in ordering me to institute a challenge.
Okay, why don't we do this? So we've had the presentation. Why don't we move to agenda item number 26 and approve
and I'm sorry,
authorizing the county attorney to file a challenge to OR 2025-003486 in the District Court of Travis County.
She's saying that she doesn't think we need to. That we don't have,
I think she wants us to do that.
no.
You don't want us to file the challenge?
First of all, that
No,
is
just do you
100%.
want us to or no?
That's a decision for the Commissioners Court, and I don't want to overstep any bounds. What I am saying is that I have already argued everything that I think
Okay,
is
I
valid.
think we need a second before we have discussion.
well, are we done with 25, the presentation? But I did have a question before we moved on. So none of the
I'll put
PGAL,
my motion.
Broadus, and Primestone and Teal, nobody's submitted anything?
Broadus submitted a flash drive. That's the one that I sent a
Oh,
copy
okay.
of it to the AG. Primestone has submitted information. That one I had asserted an argument of privilege, which was rejected by the Attorney General. So what we have, we will now produce. The biggest chunk of information here at issue is everything that PGAL has in its possession, everything Teal has in its possession, and of course, all of our emails, which can be produced. So like, I want the court to understand that I have already submitted 9 or 10 different letters asking specific questions. The Attorney General and PGAL's attorney has done that, Teal's attorney has done that, asserting a third-party privilege of copyright or trademark or whatnot. The Attorney General has already considered all of those arguments and denied all of those arguments. So I would be hard-pressed to find new arguments to present a challenge. But if the Commissioners Court instructs me to do that, you are my client, and I will do that.
Well, the probability of you winning that challenge from what you're saying would be very low.
Slim.
I believe it may be pretty low. But also I don't know that there's anything that I have not already argued. Which is, but again, you are the representative of my client and you have the authority to vote to tell me to challenge it or to not challenge it. But that, I would say, is also time bound.
What's your other alternative is some kind of legal action with Teal and PGAL
I would
to be able to
strongly,
fulfill our obligation
yes, sir.
to the AG. We need to move something on them to try to make them provide it.
I provided them with a copy of the order. I provided them with a fresh copy of the request, and I said, please review this with your legal counsel. The county must comply. I believe you need to present a timely response, and I have not heard anything since. So I just want you to understand it may be on the horizon that follow-up legal action may be necessary because we are responsible to the Attorney General and we are responsible to win it.
You said,
for this request.
you said earlier, sorry to drag this out, but you said earlier that basically Teal and PGAL both had said no. And what was the reason for the no? Was it cost?
Yes. So, well, two reasons on that. Teal, I believe it was Justin McComb, just said, we're not doing this without a change order for more money. Do you understand? This is like 42,000 documents. And I said, I understand perfectly. Produce it. Because that's what's required under your contract and under the law. But because it's already in your contract, it means that the two parties, the county and Teal, has already considered that this request may come. And because they've already considered that and says, hey, you're going to produce it, then we don't need to pay you any more money because we've already considered the production. But also, we can only charge the requester for a very slender set of things. And so if the county pays Teal to produce this information, the county will not get a return on that payment at all. And also, like, we shouldn't pay because it's in our contract. It's a standard term in every single one of the contracts that the county sends out, period. Like, of our hundreds of contracts that are currently active, it's in every single one. Because we know that that law exists. So, I'll add this. One of the things that I asked the Attorney General was, this defines employees of the county. When it says employees, do you only mean people who are on the project, or do you mean Aransas County employees? Because we have more than 200. And through the budget process, people receive stipends for using their phone in practically every department except for the county attorney's office. Must we produce all of the requested information from every single Aransas County employee? And the Attorney General said, you will produce the requested information. So it is my belief that this is not only text messages in their unredacted state, text messages in their full complete version, not only screenshots or what have you, or selected ones. I think it also, because it says instant messages may include pigeons, what we can send directly from our computers. It also says, the act itself says internet postings. So we're not here to restrict anybody's freedom of speech under the First Amendment. We just need a copy so we can produce it. So the people who are very vocal on Facebook who are affiliated with the county, we need to produce that. Thus, we need to find it. And people need to understand you will produce it immediately because we're under, I think this is day 4 of the business days. So we have 6 days to comply. But I have specifically asked the Attorney General, when this says employees, do you really mean all employees or agents or authorized representatives which are elected? And they said, you will produce what has been requested. So like I feel that I have gotten as detailed as possible with the Attorney General in all of the letters that I submitted, and I feel they have responded as I predicted they would, but they have responded that we will release it in its full form.
So the order from the Attorney General that we have before us says, although the county raises exceptions to disclosure because it has not submitted the requested information for our review, we have no basis for finding any of the requested information to be accepted from disclosure. Thus, we have no choice but to order the requested information released pursuant to section 552.302. If the county believes the information may not lawfully be released, it must challenge this ruling in court pursuant to section 552.324 of the government code. Okay, so right now we have 2 choices. You can either vote to approve authorizing the county attorney to file a challenge to that order or not. I think we've heard plenty about this situation. We just need to make a decision.
We're done with the presentation.
And we'll need a motion for that. I know. Just, I'm glad to make the motion again.
All right.
Okay, I move to approve authorizing the county attorney to file a challenge to OR 2025-003486 in the District Court of Travis County.
Is there a second? I'll second it so we can vote.
Okay,
You, to be clear, you're requesting that I,
that the county attorney's office file a challenge to this order, like the. And if you don't think
Okay.
that's a good idea, we'll vote it down, but let's just move.
Commissioner Cheney,
Nay.
Commissioner Casterline,
Nay.
Commissioner Russo,
Nay?
Commissioner Dupnick,
Nay.
Judge Garza.
Nay. 5 days, motion doesn't pass. Move on to item number 27. Thank you, Adele.
Move to approve authorizing the county judge to sign an agreement with the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Center, a 501c3 nonprofit organizations to provide interpreting services to persons who are deaf, hard of hearing, low vision, and deaf and blind on an as-needed basis.
I'll second that.
All right, got a motion and a second.
Is this a renewal? I'm not sure who's bringing this, but it has your name on it.
Yeah, it has, what, is this a renewal? Tracy, where did we get this one from?
It's kind of like having an interpreter for somebody that speaks a different language.
Specifically for this
Yeah.
one, but we have, kept some contracts.
For them to have access in case they ever get some.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, is this an unfunded mandate? Because I noticed it
Yes, ma'am.
says assignments of 2 hours or more require 2 interpreters. We pay for travel if they're from out of town, which most likely they're coming from Corpus
Yes,
Christi.
we do report them on our indigent defense, grant. And not sure that we're being, reimbursed for any of it at this time, but I know they are collecting the information. But yes, we are required to do this. This is an unfunded mandate.
And when you say they're accumulating the information, who's accumulating that?
It's the Office of.
Court of Administration,
Mhm.
OCA.
OCA.
We do submit it with our information for our grant to the Court of Administration.
So there's a possibility we might get refunded or get a portion.
It's possible
First.
that in the future that we will. I don't know that they have started it. I know they're gathering the information, I think, just to see what the costs are and what the exposure is for it.
Okay. So will we get an actual contract that has Aransas County in there instead of saying your entity's name? This is just like their blank contract and they just send it over for our review.
Yes, ma'am, we would
Okay.
update that.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 28.
I move to approve the Aransas County Indigent Healthcare Report for January 2025.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Alma's not here. Is Alma online? Call? No.
We have a
Commissioner
new
Cheney, I'm
employee
sorry.
today, so she's pretty busy.
Sorry, she has 2 new employees. Yep. One starts today.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 29.
I move to approve the renewal of the program agreement with Texas Association of Counties for the Affordable Care Act Reporting and Tracking Service and authorizing the county judge to execute necessary documents.
Second.
Got a motion, second. Morning, Desiree.
Good morning. This is just the annual renewal for something that's required.
And some free service to the
Yes.
county. Let's talk about that.
Yes,
Okay, thank you. And they do a good job.
thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 30.
Move to approve budget line item.
Second.
We do not have any at this time. I will be bringing them to you in the first meeting of March. Our outside auditors require any invoices that were dated in 2024 in January and February be charged back to the 24 budget. So we've kept this open so that we can make sure that we catch everything on time.
But you'll provide them to us beforehand.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dutnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Item number 31.
Move to approve accounts payable, payroll liabilities.
Second.
A motion, second.
You have the list of payroll liabilities, as well as all of the accounts payable. I'm not gonna say it's usual or normal. This does include all of our debt service, our principal, 100% of the principal and half of the interest. It's due February 15th with a little over $3 million total for those.
Are those semi-annual payments or annual payments?
We have, the principal is annual. The interest is semi. The next payment will be in August. And actually the one for the venue tax, we pay the principal, we pay the interest in February, and then we pay principal and interest in August. It's the only one that's opposite. This does include the 1.6 million that we approved on the 3rd of February, those contractor invoices. They are on this list. So on 4/30, we do have 2 new invoices. We have BLS for the generators at the airport and Road and Bridge for a total of $22,050. Another invoice for DLF, which is their December 24 invoice. It was $204,076.77. We have a invoice from Teal Construction, which is their December invoice. It was $56,676.79.
56,000?
$56,676.79.
And do you have any details about what that work included? Because there
I
hasn't
don't
been
have
that
it
much
with
going
me.
on.
I don't have that with me, Commissioner, but
Justin?
we have it at the,
Is here, Justin, are you familiar with what's included on the December pay app?
There's been several of ours.
Yeah,
I have it at the office if you would like to.
Right, but you're asking for us to prove it now.
Yeah, I know it was originally submitted on the pay app. I know there were several conversations back and forth between us, PJL and Broadus. What it finally shook out to, I'd have to look at again to give you a specific answer for it.
You have any idea what was being done in December?
Sure, we're doing landscaping, we're doing concrete paving, we were doing some miscellaneous ADA work, doing some electrical work, trying to get some elevator work that we just got the CCD on today for. So thank you for that. Trying to get out of there, trying to work on solutions for windows that we're still waiting on, getting that answer back. So there's a lot of work going on.
thank you.
This invoice has been reviewed by Broadus as well as the architects also and signed off on.
Thank you.
The only other thing is an interpretive graphic, some signs that were put up at the courthouse for the new courthouse. It's $4,291 for that. And other than that, everything's just normal.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo. Aye. Commissioner Dutnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 5-0. At this time, we'll hear reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken. Commissioners, y'all got anything?
I do. Some pretty fiery comments were made during the citizens to be heard section of this meeting. And I would just suggest that perhaps the nature of those comments might reflect upon the personality of the individual who was speaking. I know I have been privately and to some extent publicly defamed for imaginary items, and I have not moved towards litigation of any form, but I certainly think that there was a lot of thought and time and best interest of the county that went into the process of selecting a person for our appointee to the appraisal district. I don't know who that person is. I'm not in that person's social circle. She's not in my social circle. I just think that what we continue to do up here is to find the best applicants to put into our commissions and boards. And I think we've seen that in some of the productivity, most recently in the pathways and in the Stormwater Technical Management Committee. We're getting new people with good ideas who really are looking out for the best interests of the county. And that's what this Commissioners Court is doing also. So I thank anyone for their support. If they'd like to visit with me, I am always available, even in the HEB. Thank you.
And I just want to remind you all that that Smithsonian exhibit's still going on. It was going on strong this weekend. I had duty, so I was at the jail a couple of times throughout Saturday and Sunday and saw a lot of cars out there and a lot of volunteers. And I think Saturday they had some clowns there giving a talk to some kids. It was pretty entertaining. Anybody else?
Judge, I have one.
Yep.
I just want to give a shout out to Rockport Little Theater and George Sherman for lending us one of their mixers, as ours went out while we were setting up for court Friday, and we would not have had sound for this meeting otherwise.
Thank you. Thanks. All right, we'll hear about reports about other items of community interest. No action will be taken. Renee, you got anything? Good. All right. I'll entertain a motion to go. Oh,
I work and went to an address and I don't have a report on the other.
okay. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
No.
Oh.
I would like us to go into closed session, and talk about item number 7. I think there are some things that might not have been appropriate to bring out in public, but since some of the comments came up, I'd like to get legal opinion on.
All right.
So I don't know how to word.
Yeah, how do you word that?
Well, it's item number 7. Isn't it anything that's on the agenda?
I move to convene into closed session to consult with counsel and receive legal advice about pending or contemplated litigation or other attorney-client privilege matters, including insurance matters related to the Aransas County project and insurance claims from Hurricane Harvey, various contract disputes, the Wind Services Public Information Act request.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, a second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes. 10 minutes.
That,
Commissioner Cheney,
aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castelline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye.